Welcome to Wayne's World Garage. Happy Monday. It's just a gorgeous day outside. It's 60 some odd degrees outside. And we finally have a chance to work in Wayne's World Garage. What are we working on today? The 1956 Dodge Power Wagon, 230 flathead engine. Pretty much all rebuilt. Want to go to a car show in Leesburg, Virginia in 2 weeks. And I'm not a big car show guy. Too many old geezers fighting over $10 trophies when they spend $1,000 on a tire. You know what I mean? But anyway, sadly, I put freeze plugs in when I rebuilt this thing in 2015. One of the freeze plugs failed instantly. Bad job. And the second one is failing now. Somebody says, well, just put stop leak in it. I can do that, but I'm not a stop leak guy. I'd prefer not to do that. So I bought some leak detector from Amazon, verified where it was coming out of. Now we're going to pull out the freeze plug, and once I pull out the freeze plug, we'll put a new one in. The real question is, how do I seal it? So I used aviation gasket maker in the past, this, that, I don't know. These are little brass cone-shaped things. I'll show them to you. We're just going to seal it up, put some silicone on it, and pound it in. And pounding it is a little bit tough. I had to take out the battery and take out the oil fill tube. But I think I've got pretty good access now. Let me show you what's going on. I don't know if you can see this. I hope you can. Here is the guilty freeze plug. So some people say just pound it in more and see what happens. I am just not a fan of that. We'll give it a shot. No, I'm not going to give it a shot because if I pound it in, then I've got to put coolant in it, not coolant, water in it, put it all back together, see if it leaks. I just soon pop it out. And popping these guys out when it's on an engine stand is pretty easy. When it's in the block's a little bit more effort. You got to poke a hole in it and pry the thing out, which I'm going to do right now. So stand by. All right, well, not wanting to bore you with all the details, I put a little hole in this freeze plug, and you couldn't see it very well with video. Put my punch in, and sadly it popped right out, which makes me kind of concerned because what do the other ones look like? But nothing I do now. I'll replace one or two at a time. It's lasted 8 years. 8 years seems to be a pretty good amount of time. The hard part now is getting these guys in here and hitting it with a hammer to hold it securely. But let me show you what we did here so you can see and be as excited as I am. Here's where the freeze plug came out. Oh, when I got some oil because my paper towel moved. I better fix that a little bit there. But now I got to clean that whole area out so I can put another freeze plug in. Shouldn't be hard. I might actually, let me see if we can find a little plug for the top of that oil galley hole or that oil thing. Okay, so now the next fun part. I got to clean that thing out. So I covered up all the holes where debris could get into. Let me try and get in there with a wire brush a little bit and see what happens. This is just a pain, but we'll get it done. Let me see if I can set you up somewhere you can see something here. That's there we go. Now we're getting there. Whew. That's nice and clean. Now let me see if I can get my drill out, or am I going to have to leave it here as part of the truck the rest of its life? Things are going swimmingly well on this freeze plug repair. I kind of looked at the old one. I was a little bit surprised. It was pushed in pretty well. So sadly, though, it came out pretty easily. But I don't know. It's a non-pressurized system. We'll see. So the real question is sealant or no sealant? Gasket maker or no gasket maker? We put sealant on these when we put it together. I don't remember what it was. A lot of people say, oh, use silicone. People say, don't use silicone. Use JB Weld. There's a million things. Use shellac. I'm not quite sure. I'm leaning towards silicone because I've used it before. It works. And it's strong, it'll hold up. Don't want to use it in an oil pan, but I think for something like this, it'll be swimmingly well. Let me show you what we got. But there's the hole right there. How's that? There's a hole upside down. Huh. Can we see anything? Am I even pointing to it? I think I am pointing to it. I see a red rag down there. Yeah, that looks like it. So that's a freeze plug. The hole looks good. I also thought about ordering one of these rubber things, expandable things. That might work all right too. I don't know. But we'll put the freeze plug back in there and see if I can hammer it. The hardest part's going to be hammering it because I don't know if I can get in there and whack it. But let me figure it out and move on with the program. Alrighty, I'm sure you can see in here really well because I know I can't. Let me put the camera on here so you can see a little bit, maybe. Okay, so I've got the freeze plug in, although I don't know how well it's in. I got to put the oil filler tube in, and I got to put this attach the oil line here so it doesn't flop around. Easy as pie, but I can't make pie. All right, now to put the oil thingy on here. There's a name for it actually. Oil fill tube. The thing is with the oil fill tube, there's some confusion here and questions about how you should put it on there, whether you should put it on there with sealant or no sealant. There will be no sealant on this thing because sealant gets into my bearings and stuff that I don't want to have happen. So let me leave it loose in there for right now, and let me get the little good news is about these trucks is people expect them to leak. Not that I do. It's not like a new car where if it leaks, it's going back to the factory for a recall. So this, we do not want it to leak. I'd prefer it didn't leak. That's just my opinion. There you go. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Now the question is it down far enough? There we go. I think it's down far enough. How about that? Now I gotta wait for my sealant to dry. I did put sealant on it. Let's let it dry out and I'll see how it goes tomorrow. All right, well, we're finishing this guy up. You can't see the freeze plug very well. It's behind the oil drain or oil fill tube, but I believe I've got it secured. Hopefully, it's kind of hard to hit it in. So it's hard to hit it in accurately and hit it with a lot of force, but I did take the battery out and I tried to hit it with a punch and a hammer. We'll see if that works. Sadly, the one right that we're looking at to the left of the top of the oil filler, that failed like a day after I got the truck back from Mr. John. But it was easy to reach. Hopefully the rest of them are going to stay where they're supposed to be. It was hit pretty well, so I know it was secured in there. I don't know why it's leaking, why it leaked, or why they popped out. I'm not exactly sure. But looking underneath it, you probably can't see anything because I don't see a whole lot either. But I don't see water dripping down. And that's what I was seeing before, was a big puddle under here. Let's take it for a ride. Well, somebody may be wondering, why am I worried so much about trying to get this freeze plug fixed? Let it set till springtime. I'm not a big car show guy, but next weekend, October 14th in Leesburg, Virginia, there's a car show. And they shut down the whole main drag. And Leesburg's kind of a little bit of a haul from here. It's an hour drive, hour and a half drive. But it's a fun little town to come visit. My good buddy Joe from Downrange Technology lives out there. And he might bring his DeLorean. We'll see if he even makes it. Hopefully, Joe, you can make it. Hopefully, we'll see you out there. And I'm happy. I think we got this guy fixed. Let's take her for a test run and see what she runs like. All right, you're probably bored to death of standard movies, but let's go for the test drive. Now, when this thing is set up properly, the hood release, you have to push it really hard, which I did. And what I should do is these fenders are highly buffed and sanded very nicely. Not in that order, but I put this sticky saran wrap over them that my buddy's father from Late Model Performance, LMP, up in near Baltimore uses on his cars. It's high dollar type stuff, but it turns out on a finish like this, it really works well, because the only way to get access to this guy is to stand on the fenders and sit on them. It's a pain. All right, let's take her for a ride and see what she does. Well, it looks like we're on the road. I don't know if you can hear anything. The truck's a noisy truck. I'm going to stop and adjust the camera in a minute, but maybe not. This actually looks pretty good. I can still adjust it down some. Nah, I'll leave it the way it is. All right. The big thing I'm going to be looking for is a big puddle, which means I lost the freeze plug. Hopefully I won't lose the freeze plug, and we'll see. So here we are on the road. We're starting to get some colors here. Unfortunately, it is October 2. It's October 3. Oh, I wonder if these colors have come a little bit early because it's been so dry out. Very well could be. It's been a dry summer. I'm happy we get irrigation for our pumpkins. Ooh, big bump there. Anybody who wants to buy a truck that goes fast, don't get a Dodge Power Wagon. Well, I don't see any puddles out the back yet. Temperature looks reasonable. I'll just go up to this other neighborhood and make a quick U-turn and it'll be done. All right, just so you guys know, that's 30 miles an hour. And this has 583 gears. And frankly, with these wheels and tires, it drives extraordinarily well. The run out on the stock tires or stock wheels is up to 150 thousandths of an inch. These are probably 5 or 10 at most, but they're custom built wheels. And now I don't need to use flaps, don't need to use tubes, and I can use standard what do you call it? Standard tires on it instead of oddball tires. Man, oh, what are those traffic? And now we're out in the woods. Check that out, the sun's out. Shocking. Temperature. If I don't have any water, how's it going to show you got something running bad? I don't know. Guess we'll find out in a minute. I'm going to turn around right here in this neighborhood. These guys won't mind. They got a little cul-de-sac. Perfect for a little test drive. Temperature looks good. Oil pressure looks good. Look at the road. Notice all of the black spots on the road. Who can guess what those black spots are? Who knows how to spell black walnut tree? Nice. that's 30 miles an hour on the back road. That's about what these trucks are designed for. Vehicles have got a happy spot. I mean, these will do 50 miles an hour. It'll be screaming. And there's absolutely no value in screaming it that far. Or there's absolutely no reason in pushing it that hard. Went to Iowa with some guys a few years ago and, oh man, we're going 50 miles an hour. And like, that's great, but you wonder why your machine's vapor locking. You wonder why it's overheating, blah, blah, blah. It's just not designed for that. It's a farm truck. Started off as a weapons carrier in World War II. I gotta pay attention here. I don't hit that Mercedes. PDR wouldn't fix him, would it? All right, let me, looks like we're almost home. Let me get ready to do some driver things. Shift gears, hit brakes, signal. Nah, that's optional. Let's put her away. Thanks for coming along, folks. Hope you enjoyed the ride. It was kind of fun. Well, it was fun because I don't think I lost all my coolant. Maybe I did, though, and I just didn't know it yet. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed the ride. Apparently nothing blew up. I think we still have coolant in there. I should probably check. Yeah, why don't I check? Maybe I'm getting all excited before I should. It's probably going to drip out a little bit, I imagine. Some warmth up there. Oh, check that out. It's got coolant in it. I see a lot of dye in it, too. Dye's okay. We're good to go, we hope. We'll see how long this fix lasts. All right. Well, thanks for watching another episode of Wayne's World Garage. This is a little bit different, but this is what I do all the time is fix things. So maybe I should change my title, Watch Wayne Work. But sadly, another one of these freeze plugs failed, and hopefully we've got it fixed, and it's going to last another 8 years. Hopefully the other ones are going to not fail, too, in the future. And if any of you guys are out there, maybe we'll see you in Leesburg next weekend on the 14th at the big car show. They shut down the main drag. It ought to be fun. And the Power Wagon's ready to go. Take care and thanks for watching.